We're here with Greg Daniel from Action Cycling Team, 20 years old, all of 20 years old, at the USA Pro Challenge this year. Just came off of a very good performance at Tour of Utah, kind of a breakthrough performance, I would think. Tell us a little bit about the King of the Mountains jersey at Tour of Utah.
Well, at first it was just to get the jersey for a few days because I knew there were a lot of points up for grabs on stage one. So I got in the breakaway and got all those points, and I thought, okay, my week has been made. Got the best young rider, got the KOM jersey for at least 2 days, so I'm happy. But then things kind of unfolded, and I got in the right moves, and I was able to get more points. And then I thought I could actually hold on to this KOM jersey. So it turned out that I was able to hold it for the rest of the week and was able to win it.
It seems that over the last couple of years you've been steadily progressing. U23 Nationals a few years ago were in the top 10. This recent year in 2015 you got 2 podiums at US Nationals. How were those races for you?
They were good. I think in many ways I made a few mistakes because I did do a lot of work and I was by myself for the majority of the road race, and then I kind of hurt my chances in the time trial, but I was definitely happy with a second and a third, and maybe next year I can come back and do the double.
How has working with Action and having Axel Merckx as a director been helpful for you in the last couple of years?
It's been really helpful because, I mean, no one knows cycling as well as Axel. He's been in the cycling community for his entire life, so to work with him closely and to have his guidance is priceless.
What's it like to be on a development team that's been invited to some of the biggest races in the U.S.?
It's actually it's a really cool experience. It is one of the reasons why I wanted to join Action was not only because of Axel Merckx and his impressive resume of getting riders up to the World Tour, but because you can do races like the Tour of California, the Tour of Utah, the US Pro Challenge, and the Tour of Alberta. Those are all like really big races, and you get to line up right next to a bunch of World Tour riders that you only see on TV usually, so it's a really surreal experience.
And at 20 years old, how have you sort of developed, or how do you approach riding with and racing against, going toe-to-toe against Pro Tour riders? Is it something that comes naturally, or you have to sort of psych yourself up for, or how do you go about that?
Well, at first, when I did the Tour of California last year, I was just nervous because I didn't want to mess anything up or cause a crash or something. And so at first it was definitely nerve-wracking, but I think once you do it once, and you just kind of get the hang of it, and you realize that you deserve to be there just as much as they do, and it's a race just like any other.
How did you? What led you to Jim Lehman and being coached by CTS?
Alex Gillette, actually, one of my good friends who I've known since I was 13 years old, recommended him, and a lot of people had really good things to say about him. So yeah, he reached out to me, or maybe I reached out to him. I don't really remember, but I do. Yeah, I mean, it was one of the best decisions I made this off season because, yeah, from last year to this year, there's been a huge improvement with the training, and we did do a lot more rest this year, and we also did a lot more hard training in the winter, so it's worked out really well.
What have you seen as the differences or the improvements from last year to this year?
I think it's just day by day. In stage races, I don't seem to fatigue as much, and also just being able to go into these races well rested is what's really important.